Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter, probability. In the previous part, we have discussed about continuous distribution. In this part, we shall consider some important distributions. We shall consider both discrete and continuous distribution. First, we consider some discrete distributions. The first distribution we shall consider is the binomial distribution. We know that this is the mass function of binomial distribution, where Fi denotes the mass at the spectrum point I, where I varies from 0, 1 to n. Actually, n is the number of trial, I is the number of success, p is the probability of success, and q is the probability of failure. So these are the spectrums 0, 1 to up to n, and these are the corresponding masses. Actually, we want to show that this represents a PMF. To prove that this is a PMF, we need to prove two properties. In the property number 1, we know that in PMF the masses can be negative, and in the second property we need to prove that sum of all the masses equal to 1. The first property is obvious because NCI this is positive, probability of success P is positive, so Q is also positive, so Fi these are non-negative. So the first property is done. The second property, we need to prove that sum of all the masses equal to 1. That means summation of Fi from I equal to 0 to n is equal to 1. We need to prove that sum of this quantity is equal to 1. That means sum of all the masses equal to 1. The proof is very simple. We replace the value of Fi in this summation. Fi is NCI p to the power I, q to the power n minus I. Now if we expand the sum with respect to I, then the first term is, if we replace I equal to 0, we find NC0 which is 1, p to the power 0 is 1, and q to the power n. So this is the first term. In the second term we put I equal to 1, so NC1, p to the power 1, q to the power n minus 1. This is the second term. In the third term, NC2, q to the power n minus 2, and p square. Continuing in this process, we obtain the final term when we put I equal to n. This is NCn which is 1, p to the power n, q to the power 0. So this is p to the power n. And we know that this is the well-known formula of binomial expansion of the term q plus p to the power n. So this is the binomial expansion of q plus p to the power n. And we know that p plus q equal to 1. So q plus p equal to 1. So this is 1 to the power n equal to 1. So we find that sum of all the masses equal to 1. Therefore, this represents a probability mass function. Next, we consider Poisson distribution, and we know that this is the mass function corresponding to Poisson distribution. Here the spectrums are I equal to 0, 1 to up to infinity, and these are the corresponding masses. Here I denotes the number of success, and mu is the Poisson parameter, which is approximately equal to NP, where n is the number of trial and p is the probability of success. So for Poisson distribution, we shall prove that this Fi represents a probability mass function. So again we have to prove two properties. The first property is the mass can be negative. Here we see that mu is approximately equal to np, so mu can't be negative because n and p both are non-negative. I is the number of success which is non-negative, and e to the power minus mu, this is also non-negative. So Fi greater or equal to 0. This is the first property. And for the second property, we have to prove that sum of all the masses equal to 1. So we need to prove that summation of Fi from I equal to 0 to infinity is equal to 1. Now replacing the value of Fi, we find that e to the power minus mu, this is independent of I, so we can take e to the power minus mu outside the summation. Next, we have to expand this series with respect to I. Now if we expand this series, we find that the first term is 1, the second term is mu by 1 factorial, plus the next term is mu square by 2 factorial up to infinity. So this is a well-known series of e to the power mu. So it is e to the power minus mu into e to the power mu, that is equal to 1. So sum of all the masses is equal to 1, and the masses are non-negative. Therefore, this represents a probability mass function. Next, we consider few continuous distribution. First, we consider this uniform distribution from A to B. That means there is a uniform mass from A to B, and we know that in continuous distribution the masses appear in a layer, so there is a uniform layer from A to B. That means height of the layer from A to B is uniform, and the height of the layer is 1 by B minus A between A and B and 0 elsewhere. We need to prove that this fx represents a PDF, that means probability density function. The first property is fx must be non-negative. Here we find that b is greater than a, so this fx is non-negative. So first property is done. Now second property is that total mass should be equal to 1. In continuous case, the integration of fx from minus infinity to plus infinity should be equal to 1. That means we have to prove this one. To find this integral, we first break the interval from minus infinity to plus infinity into three parts. First one is from minus infinity to a, second one is from a to b, and finally from b to infinity. Because the masses lie only in this range from a to b, and otherwise it is 0. So here it is. The masses lie between a and b, where the fx function is 1 by b minus a, and elsewhere it is 0. So we can easily calculate this. If we integrate this, it will be x from a to b. So after replacing the limit, we can easily find that this is equal to 1. So the function fx represents a PDF, that means probability density function, and this PDF is called uniform distribution between a and b. Next we consider exponential distribution. The density function for exponential distribution is given by this fx equal to lambda into e to the power minus lambda x, where lambda is a non-negative parameter and the range of x is given by greater or equal to 0. So we need to prove that this fx represents a PDF. Now the first property is very simple. It is given that lambda is non-negative, and we know that exponential function is always non-negative. So lambda into e to the power minus lambda x, it is always non-negative. So the first property is done. That means the masses are non-negative. Next we need to prove that integration of this function from minus infinity to plus infinity is equal to 1. That means the total area of the layer is equal to 1. We need to prove that value of this integration is equal to 1. For that we just break the integral into two parts. First one is from minus infinity to 0, and next from 0 to infinity. Because the masses lie in this range from 0 to infinity, so value of fx in this range is 0, and in this range value of fx is lambda into e to the power minus lambda x. So if we put the value of fx, now lambda is independent of x, so we can take lambda outside the integration and we can easily integrate e to the power minus lambda x. So after the integration, if we put the limits, we find that this is nothing but 1. Because lambda is positive, so if we put x tends to infinity, then e to the power minus infinity tends to 0, and if we put x equal to 0, then it becomes 1. So value of this integration is 1. That means the second property is proved. So this function fx represents the probability density function or PDF. Finally consider normal distribution. This is the most important distribution in probability, and fx is given by 1 by root over 2 pi multiplied by sigma into e to the power minus x minus m whole square by 2 sigma square, where sigma is a positive parameter and x lies from minus infinity to plus infinity. We need to prove that this represents a PDF. Now 1 by root 2 pi is positive, sigma is positive, and exponential function is non-negative, so this fx is non-negative. So the masses are non-negative. The first property is done, and for the second property we need to prove that value of this integration is equal to 1. We perform the integration step by step. We have replaced the value of fx, and we know that 1 by root over 2 pi and sigma, these are independent of x, so we can take these two quantities outside the integration. Next, to evaluate this integral, we need a transformation. We select the transformation in such a manner that this integrand converts to e to the power minus z square. So we select z equal to x minus mu divided by root over 2 sigma. So dx by root over 2 sigma equal to dz. That means dx equal to root over 2 sigma into dz. Now for the limits, now as x tends to minus infinity, since sigma is positive, so z also tends to minus infinity. As x tends to plus infinity, then z also tends to plus infinity. So we replace the limits here, and if we replace x minus mu by root over 2 sigma equal to z, then the integrand becomes this. Now few terms can be cancelled out, root over 2 cancelled out and sigma also cancelled out. So the integral can be written as this. Now we find that the integrand e to the power minus z square, it is an even function and the range is from minus infinity to plus infinity, and you know that if the integrand is even, then we can write the integral as 2 times 0 to infinity. So we write here this integral is equal to 2 times integration from 0 to infinity e to the power minus z square dz. Finally we need to evaluate this integral. To evaluate this integral, we need to replace z square equal to t. So we use the transformation z square equal to t. So 2z dz equal to dt. That means dz equal to dt by 2z. Now z equal to root over t. So dz equal to dt by 2 root t. Now as z tends to plus infinity, t tends to plus infinity. If z equal to 0, then t also equal to 0. So limits are unchanged. So using the transformation, the integral reduces to this. Now cancelling 2, and we can rewrite the integral as this. T to the power minus half can be written as half minus 1. Now this is nothing but gamma function, and this is equal to gamma half. So this integral is equal to gamma half, and we know that gamma half is equal to root pi. So cancelling root pi, this is equal to 1. So we find that this integral equal to 1. That means the area of the total layer is equal to 1. That means this function fx represents a probability density function or PDF. So in this part we have discussed these 5 distributions. There are few more distributions which will be discussed later. So in the next part we shall discuss about the transformation of random variables. So see you in the next part. Until then, thanks for watching.